Коллеги, всем привет!
Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming, and thank you for staying with us so late.
Как можно и как нужно
The topic of my talk is how we use and how we should use scripts in a SOC. I'm Elena Ponomareва, a couple words about myself.
Я свыше 10 лет
I've been for more than 10 years in cybersec. I have worked on the vendor side and on the SI side, and I've been
как никто
focusing on SOC consulting for several years, so I think I have the full understanding of the problems companies may run into when they build their SOCs, how to create the really working processes and services, and what needs to be done to make sure that the processes work really effectively, how they can be relaunched and transformed if needed.
Итак, начнем. Допустим, мы проделали огромную
Let's imagine that you have covered a really long journey
зрелость,
and you are finally at that level of maturity when you have implemented all the technological solutions, and
процессной модели, либо
if you are pursuing a process model, we have stabilized our processes, or we have stabilized our services if you wish to do that, and we have all the responsible persons and we know who's responsible for what, and we have set up all the scheduled tasks, and you may relax and think that this is the final point, and now, from now on,
все у нас будет.
everything will be easy and relaxed, and kind of all the lights will be on, and that will be automatic. In fact, this is when it all only starts, and life, of course, goes on.
У нас есть экосистема, да, мы
So what you have
зрелые,
is an ecosystem, because I've told you we are mature.
у нас
We have CIM, NTA, IRP, EDR, VM, everything you can imagine.
нашим аналитикам что-то постоянно не хватает.
Our analysts still say that they need more.
Все-таки коробочных решений нам недостаточно, и
So off-the-shelf solutions don't work, and we
смогли автоматизировать.
want to start building something in-house to automate some routine transactions.
К сожалению, не все
But the problem is,
кейсы у нас поддерживаются из коробочных версий.
the problem is that not all company-specific cases can be supported by off-the-shelf products.
Кастомно делать либо
And if you want to automate, you either wait or come up with a lot of money.
мы просто потратим
And if you do things manually, we will invest a lot of time of our analysts,
они
which is much better invested in investigating incidents.
Здесь есть отличное решение, есть скрипты, да, это
Scripts are a solution.
дополнительно, но при этом
Scripts always come up on top of everything else. But it is a great help in integrating a system
мы говорим,
with another system that is not particularly friendly,
да, от разных
or matching
мы сможем на
two different systems from two different vendors,
тему с EDR, да,
good integration with the CM or EDR,
использовать под
a lot of small automations.
аналитиков.
So, and scripts can be written for analysts in order to make their life easier as well.
Все мы прекрасно
A small example.
у наших аналитиков есть множество задач, есть регулярные
We all know that our analysts have a lot of tasks, some of them regular, daily, weekly, monthly.
периодически растянутые во времени,
Some of them are really stretched in time
каким-то образом отслеживать, да, плюс ко всему
and hard to track.
проблема, что сотрудники
And of course, you have the problem that
другую,
people move from one line to another, people rotate across the company, and
отслеживать выполнение тех или иных задач.
the issue is how do we track the progress of a certain task?
Трекер, да, он нам
A
поможет.
task tracker
Но здесь
looks like an obvious solution,
все решения из коробки под
only it isn't.
отслеживать
Again, not all off-the-shelf solutions support task tracking.
задач, но не факт, что в workflow будут их поддерживать, да, и не
So-
факт, что мы опять не
A
столкнемся
huge amount of tasks that workflows don't support, and we face with the same situation when, again, people move teams,
кому эти задачи выполнять.
and no one is suddenly responsible for a particular task that was initiated half a year, 3 months, 4 months before.
Уведомлять всех необходимо.
This is what a script can do.
И, соответственно,
Track the timelines, send notifications, and escalate if some of the deadlines are not met.
отправится уведомление.
A script can also be written to send an alert if a task has not been closed
Стоит обратить
in good
внимание,
time.
в первую очередь, здесь в качестве источников данных можно использовать календарь и тот самый
You can use calendars and task trackers as
календари, отличная штука.
sources of data, even if you don't plan
Нашим
to use scripts. Calendars are
сколько уведомлений.
in themselves great things because they will send notifications at least.
Самые задачи и сроки
So
можно отлично использовать.
you really can use all those calendars as data sources.
С помощью скриптов мы получим уведомления
Scripts can integrate this with the SOC tools,
события для аудита и, соответственно,
alerts into the messaging apps,
у нас будет задачка.
task manager, the task in a task manager, and a ticket in CM.
Что еще интересное, можно подсвечивать действительно критичные задачи, да, можно
And you can additionally highlight highly critical tasks, like give them color coding,
те задачи,
and set up additional
выполненный срок, приходили.
reports to make sure the C-level is notified of the broken deadlines.
Также использовать еще в процессах. Все мы прекрасно
Now,
знаем,
how
что
to use that in processes?
беда,
Everybody knows that managing your assets is always painful.
знать,
It is always very complicated to actually know what you have in your infrastructure, what it is that you're actually protecting, because different sources come up with different data.
которые
And there is always some Excel spreadsheet on a disconnected computer and so on. And you've got to understand what do you protect actually at this moment. And SOC just can't protect what it doesn't know exists. Again, scripts can be of great help here.
получаем разные данные.
If you get different data from different systems, for example, we have scanned the system, so CMDB has part of the data. CMDB does not have part of the data. A script can really consolidate all the data.
Конечно же, сделать выгрузку, посадить кучу
Of course, what you can also do,
одни смотреть,
you can give this task to a lot of analysts and
аналогичная история.
ask them to compare all the Excel spreadsheets from the different sources.
Про все наши инциденты.
But if you write a script,
Тут же
you at least won't distract people from actually responding to incidents.
все, что мы выявим,
And you will avoid the human factor.
одна нужна будет
Because people make mistakes, and if they make mistakes, that some other people need to check what the first bunch of people had made mistakes on, and so on.
источник прав.
So scripts will really help you on what the truth looks like.
Если у нас
Another thing you can filter out with scripts is obsolete information.
понять, и, соответственно, если мы обнаружим конфликты,
And if you find a conflict of data,
владельцы разные указаны, разные операционные,
different owners for the same thing, different operating systems, and so on,
все это увидеть и все это подсветить.
at least the script will highlight such conflicts.
Выявить все расхождения, автоматически обновить нашу
So highlighting the mismatches, automatically
систему права. И здесь
updating the CMDB, of course, if you have the rights,
все действия должны логироваться, да,
and log all the actions. It's very important to remember that everything should be logged, scripts should be run
тестовые сервера,
routinely
и мы их уже
with certain frequency, and if we have identified, for example, test servers once, we don't analyze them next time.
Как же нам делать, как же нам скрипты писать? Здесь возникает...
So how to write scripts? There are several ways to do this.
И сразу же возникает в голове история про то, что в штат нужно посадить еще кучу
Does that mean that you need to hire special developers for script writing? The answer is no.
разработчиков. Окей.
If you can code with Python, good. If you can use off-the-shelf tools, also good.
Много лоу-код-платформ,
And there are a lot of low-code platforms, some Russian, some international,
вариативность.
that actually give you the minimal variance between the different script writers.
Безопасность должна быть безопасной, да? Соответственно,
Security needs to be secure.
кода.
So
Не забываем.
these people need to remember about the principle of security code, the principle of providing the least assets and the least privileges. And again, you log all the actions. This is very important.
Ключевые выводы.
What are the key takeaways?
Хотелось бы отметить,
The first thing I would like to say is that
автоматизации не
everyone is currently saying that SOC without automation is inefficient, and I agree with that.
нужно забывать,
It's obvious.
что технические решения, которые
But you got to remember that
любого сока, это must-have, да, без них мы никуда.
there are some technological solutions that form the fundamentals of a SOC. Scripts can only fine-tune some processes that either don't work or
Аналитик,
don't work exactly as we want.
если умеем, пишем код, делаем это правильно, да. Если нет, используем готовый.
So a script can be written by an analyst, provided they know how to do this, or at least there should be an algorithm and a clear formulation of the target task.
Большое спасибо за
Colleagues,
время.
thank you very much for your time. I'm ready to answer your questions. Thank you.